Welcome back, everyone, to the Roundtable for another weekly wrap-up. Luke here again, as always, and welcome, Ghost.
Hey, welcome everyone.
So, how you been doing, man?
I've been doing well. I think it's funny though. Dredd was just telling us recently that he kind of has a vision for this to where it's a flexible thing, and where if Luke isn't always here, which he has been so far, then Dredd and I can probably handle it. So we'll kind of juggle this as we see fit. But yeah, dude, I've been doing great.
That's good.
Have you been watching the Bitcoin price?
Yeah, I mean, that's it's a good point to start. I mean, it's kind of crazy. Like, this is the way I always thought about the market, and the last few months, it looked like the most obvious downtrend and short, and a lot of people were positioned for it. A lot of people were in cash because the charts lined up perfectly, everything looked bearish, and then it just seems we got like that bear trap again, and we just like immediately V-bounce right off the lows. And I guess it just goes to show in trading and investing, like, nothing's ever as easy as it seems. These moves are hard to judge. Maybe this is a bull trap. You know what I mean? Flush out all the bulls and then we just nuke straight back down again. But it's definitely been an interesting day. It's the 26th here for me, but would be the 25th for some of you guys. And Bitcoin's just done a big 10% candle. So, yeah.
Luke, did you watch any of the B word? I think it was like 2 days ago.
No,
23rd.
No.
Yeah, that was it was a Bitcoin conference. It highlighted by Jack Dorsey.
Yeah.
ARK Investing's like lead investor. I forgot her name.
Kathy Wood.
But she's yeah, that's right. Actually, good. And Elon Musk as the main traction. Elon, that's right.
Actually, I did see some little clips from that. I think it's just kind of funny that we've all just accepted that Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Twitter and like a billionaire, is like casually building Bitcoin. I don't know if you guys know, but like Square, I think it's Square, is like building up. There are all these little mini startup companies on Bitcoin. I think we're probably going to see in the next 2 years, something like Tip Jar on Twitter embedded into the, the base software via Lightning Network or something like that.
Absolutely. Something like that.
Because he's definitely...
Where people can accept payments or...
Yeah.
I honestly don't know what would you would monetize on Twitter? Like access? You can have like restricted access, unless like someone subscribes or pays to someone's like Twitter account.
Yeah, it could also just be a simple tip jar. I mean, if we're running Lightning and it's all like batch, transactions, people could send you like 5 cents or something like that.
Well, Jack said himself he wants to build a kind of Ethereum style programming layer on top of Bitcoin. And there's a lot of different initiatives that are doing this. One of them is Stacks. You also have like RSK, I think Liquid and Blockstream try to do the same. And then also you have the on-chain smart contract efforts where core devs are kind of slowly but surely making it more and more accessible. So all these things like with like, Bitcoin is a payment rail backend, and then the kind of programmability on top, like fostered by Twitter or whatever kind of application you'd have. Twitter would be such a killer app for Bitcoin adoption. I mean, it's even a higher degree of network effect than something like Telegram, and Ton, if y'all recall, which was supposed to deploy like 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, that's right. They had the big SEC headwind.
Mm-hmm. And they even have like, they released their open source code, and there is actually a TON coin out in the wild that is just like it's trading. I think it's in the second page. I don't think it's first page, but second page of CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko, whatever you prefer. So it lives. It lives in some other universe. We would already have like Telegram open network, and it would have had a huge network effect. I don't know, but we don't exist in that world right now, regretfully.
Yeah. So today we're actually going to talk a little bit about Quant. But before we got into that, and of course, if you guys are new to the channel, Ghost, Dredd, and myself, we've been long supporters and huge fans of what Quant have been doing. This is where this whole community idea and content creation kind of stemmed from, was the Quant community, and they've just been hitting licks and wins lately. You know, a lot of those people who invested, you know, myself included, like the price has just been performing incredibly well. But Ghost, just before we quickly get into that, because there's some juice I want to get into, another topic that's just popped into my mind, which I thought would be an interesting one for you and I to quickly just touch on. Uniswap front end this week put a block on some assets on Uniswap that they see as risky. Now, a lot of people took this at face value as centralization and all that stuff. Just to clarify, because I was looking into this as well, the Uniswap protocol and the Uniswap company and front end aren't exactly the same thing. So anyone can interact with the Uniswap protocol and trade tokens and stuff without, like, you know, interacting with the smart contracts, without going through this front end. So the Uniswap front end that everyone uses at the moment is run and operated, I believe it's a US company. So they are actually liable for certain trading and accessibility. So that's why they've limited their risk there. But there actually are, I saw today, people have just forked the Uniswap front end. I think it's called like Uniswap Ninja, and you just interact exactly as you always with. So yeah. I just thought it was interesting because I saw it was a pretty in-depth conversation happening on the socials about it. Different opinions, people, you know, jumping at Hayden Adams, the CEO's throat a little bit too quick, in my opinion. But yeah, definitely interesting to see a lot of people tightening up on that front.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this comes in on the heels of the declaration, I think it was from Gary Gensler, our new SEC lead, that they were going to pursue any sort of tokenized or not free-floating like synthetic derivative of a security. And so this is something like synthetics or I don't know, like the dark pool projects, like these sort of like attempts at trying to tokenize and provide like these like liquid, almost like money market funds off grid, off regulation. And so that's why I think Uniswap preemptively did this to, you know, like you said, to protect themselves because they're a US company. But yeah, it's the brilliance of like having a base layer that's like completely decentralized and worldwide and verified by, I don't know how many full nodes, but it's at least hundreds, if not thousands for Ethereum. This is like the way to go. It's like you can absolve yourself as a company of liability while operating on a protocol that is completely you just can't regulate it not in the same way. Maybe you can in the future with something more sophisticated, with infrastructure deployed down the line, but that regulatory ability to capture that is just not even there, and might not ever be there. So it really is an interesting case study for sure. Yeah,
exactly. All right, well, don't want to drag on too long because we've got to be conscious of the time for the wrap-ups, but we'll dive straight in. And for those of you new to Quant, you know, Ghost and I have actually made a lot of videos on our first channel we ever made on the Quanti Lounge. And
you started it, dude. I just kind of latched on like a parasite.
It's definitely welcome, mate. We've killer content there. So we'll actually... so if you guys are new to that, you go check out our channel. It'll be pretty easy to find. Just search Quantfillion on YouTube. There's heaps of intro videos and stuff. But, you know, Quants always align themselves with like the central banks, the enterprises, the governments. And we're starting to see a lot of that work come to face value over the last few months. Obviously very bullish for Quant. They're just on a hiring spree. Overledger networks being rolled out in phases. Everything's going.
That's amazing.
But this one was pretty cool because someone found a public page of Quant, Ripple, Electroneum, and Barclays creating a digital pound foundation company together. So Quant, obviously, with their Overledger system, Ripple is obviously tied with central banks and traditional banks at the same time. Similar thing. Barclays, no real surprises there. Electroneum, a lot of people were surprised about. I actually hadn't heard much about it since it kind of died a few years ago, I thought. But
they didn't die. They were basically considered like the top dog in UK crypto. But obviously, I think we have a new king for the UK.
Yeah, I think
So
they're probably brought on for their wallet. From what I've heard, they have a pretty impressive like wallet KYC system. So perhaps that's it. But
maybe.
to those of you, who aren't new to Quant, you'll know that England is home, the UK is home to Gilly, and we've always known, Pay UK, the Bank of England, the digital pound. It was definitely sort of inevitable. But I think it's just awesome to really see a lot of these people starting to move on it, and it's starting to pick up a little bit of steam. Anything to
I just
add
think
on?
it's so funny. The coin. What was it? I think it's the Guardian's coin. No, is it the Guardian? Okay, could you go back a tap? Would you mind?
Which one? This one?
Yeah, that one. Just the coin of like the Brit coin.
Yeah, I know. Like, that's probably like the lamest name you could have come up with, in my opinion.
No, I love it. It's so boomer. It's so good.
So England, I reckon.
So let's keep going.
The next one, which was really exciting. Should we play the video?
Yeah, if you can hear
You
it.
know what? It's a minute. Yeah, let's try it. Let's send this. If you guys haven't seen this is pretty dope.
One of the biggest things that we're doing is we're actually creating the Latin American dollar. And that's quite exciting. So this is with the Inter-American Development Bank over in Washington. They've created a LAC chain consortium, which is the Latin America chain. And they asked us to participate and bring our technology to Latin America. And what that does is it allows us to interconnect the region. So all the countries that we're working with, initially 12 countries, will be using the Overledger technology to create an interbank network between all the different countries and the regions, and then create remittance and payment corridors between the US and Latin America. And so what this means is businesses and citizens and people on the ground will be using the Latin American dollar to trade and create commerce, which is a lot more efficient, it's a lot more simple and quicker than what they have today. And we're proud of what we can do and really enable change and make people's lives better over in Latin America.
Luke,
Yellow.
there's so many things we can break down there, but if like the first thing first is like going into a Washington-based IDB, International Development Bank. We covered this, if y'all recall, in the history of LAC chain, our video we made like 2 months back. So if you haven't seen it, you should check it out. But it basically points to the geostrategic importance of IDB and the LAC chain, DLT project by proxy. Secondly, I think the biggest, he's like the casual nature is like, initially 12 countries to roll out the Latin America dollar. So seeing the dominance of the dollar, the dollarization of the world, technology extending this to Latin America in a really formal way. And I think there was a third thing that really, someone asked me to explain payment, like not payment channels, but like payment corridors. And I guess you can think of payment corridors, right, between the likes of like the United States and respective Southern American countries, is somewhat like I would say a more lasting version of a payment channel, right? So the P2P sort of establishment of communication between one party and another. This is just one that is established because both parties are long lasting. They're going to be here for decades, if not centuries to come. And so they can depend upon their continual existence in order to achieve some sort of common understanding of the exchange of not only money, but in this case of commerce, of goods and services. And if most of you don't know, but like there's a really brilliant analyst, his name is Jeffrey Snyder. He talks about the Eurodollar a lot and how people get lost in the sauce a lot about what money actually is, and they get obsessed with the item itself, money, and the goal confused with the goal, which is to achieve something with that. And Gilbert actually mentions that perfectly in the sense of they're using overledger technology and DLT in order to achieve a higher level of commerce between these respective nations. So this commerce, this is the utility that is achieved between nations, the exchange, again, of goods and services. It's something that technology and the availability of this sort of like novel collateral in the form of crypto coins, whether or not it's a state-backed crypto coin or it's something like Bitcoin, which is its own sovereign chain. Like it's a whole new world of digital assets and the sort of different infrastructure that's coming for them. So
yeah,
very cool stuff.
Yeah, I would just echo the thoughts. If you don't know what LAC chain is or IDB or, DLNs, definitely get on YouTube and find Ghost Knight's video, Confi Lounge, LAC chain, search that, you'll find it. I think what really was exciting for me about this, the whole thing's exciting. Confirmation on the Latin American dollar, confirmation working with IDB on a more tangible level. I also think it confirms what I've always kind of known is that Citi is definitely one of the US banking partners, because in the press release for the tokenized payments test that Citi and IDB did a few months ago, they talked, I think it was in this one actually, they talked specifically about depositing funds into the IDB account in Washington. I don't know, man. It's just crazy that this is actually all coming together kind of the way we all foresaw it. Not sure if that's, credit where credit due to those people in Quant, I guess ourselves included, honestly.
The council.
Yeah. A lot of people have, and a lot of people have copped a lot of shit. That goes for both of our, I've copped a lot of crap in my time. But, it's definitely, I don't know, for me, it's just exciting to see a project really just coming into their own, with a clear vision, a clear plan, a strong team, and just like moving towards it, you know what I mean? Not kind of jumping on the latest trend with DeFi or AMA, MMs or,
Well, and we can encompass that in due time.
Of course. All right.
That's the whole point of MDApps.
Yeah.
The creating of dApps into multi-chain applications. Let's keep going.
The other quick topic, just a quick one, nothing really too exciting. We hear apparently Amazon's got a lot of crypto and blockchain job postings out. They've also just seen this on Cointelegraph this morning that they plan to accept Bitcoin payments this year. The news is pretty much the same as what we've had with like PayPal and Visa and stuff over the last 6 to 12 months, where a lot of these guys are integrating crypto cards, crypto payments. Obviously pretty bullish, really, I guess. Can't really see a downside to it.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. I would love to see Amazon build a Bitcoin coffer.
Yeah. Did you want to...
Unlikely, but like I think they'll probably liquidate it immediately for cash just based on arbitrage. But if things change based on their internal accounting practices and also some external accounting laws, then who knows? It could happen for sure.
There was one more thing that you wanted to touch on with Amazon and Quant, wasn't there? Do you want to take the lead on this?
Yeah. So Amazon Science is a verified account for Amazon, representing their research interests. And with regard to this, they have a whole bunch of interesting little followers. But let me point out two things. One, the most obvious, is the fact that they're following Quant network, quant.updates. This is an unofficial Quant network account based on, Instagram. And they, so it's just really odd that, Amazon's saying, we're flirting with adopting crypto payments on our platform. And Quant is the only DLT platform they follow on their page, one that's built around research and development. And you'd think they'd follow like some sort of Bitcoin account or Ethereum based one, but no, it's Quant. So I find that very coincidental, if not odd.
Perplexing.
And I want to say I want to say one more thing, which is the Max Planck Society. If you see that up at the top, second from the top, the Max Planck Society is a not notorious, but like a pretty legendary think tank in the likes of the UK, built around computation and also DLT. And there have been several times when we've had hints of Quant's involvement with the Max Planck Society and their role there. So there are just these little hints of overlaps between one of the megalodons, like but for the United States stock ecosystem. So I have to say, I just find it very odd. Keep your eyes on this space, you know.
Yeah,
but yeah, Luke, what are you showing us? What are you showing us now?
Yeah, so the last planned topic that we had that we wanted to talk about, which I thought was, it's kind of a feel good story. Like, I want to talk about it. I kind of think it's cool. Ignore the clickbait title. This is not financial advice. Don't go market buying, especially charts that look like that. But if you guys don't know, Axie Infinity, AXS, has absolutely just been outperforming literally everything in the past month. Obviously, hot talk on the trading markets, hot talk for investors. But what really stands out to me is actually the metrics and stuff behind Axie's Infinities. So I'm just going to do like a little bit of a breakdown on it. And for me, it's kind of like a cool social story. So basically, it's a play-to-earn cryptocurrency game. So each Axie, which is like a character in the game, is a non-fungible token. You can buy land, you buy these NFT Axies. So obviously, I think the real play was buying land on Axie Infinity about 6 months ago. That's probably that's where probably most people made a lot of money. But basically, people play this play-to-earn game with their their NFT little characters and stuff like that, and you earn. I think they're called SLP tokens. But
Use love potion. It's really weird.
Yeah, why it stands out to me. Here we go. People are quitting that. This is what I've heard. So I actually know someone who lives in the Philippines, who's into crypto. I've known for a few years. I actually spoke to him and was like, have you heard about Axies? He's like, yeah, me and all my friends are playing it. And 2 of his friends have actually quit their jobs to play this full time in the Philippines. So yeah, they can earn around 15. I think the numbers are between 15 and 2,500 a month US dollars playing the game. They've currently got 250,000 daily active players. This is talking about market movements, but I think the really crazy one for me, land sale broke records. Yeah, here we go. Back in February, a user bought one for $1.5 million. That was 9 plots of land and Axies. Jesus. But this is the one that really stood out to me. Axie Infinity generated more revenue in the past 30 days than the other top 10 apps combined. So Axie has generated almost $100 million in revenue in the past 30 days. So I think where they get the majority of their revenue from is actually the marketplace. So they take like I think it's actually a 4.25% fee. But it says here that 95% of its revenue goes back to the players. These numbers are pretty small, pretty big. I think the projections for Axie is for it to hit something like $1 billion in revenue this year. I think it has one of the highest Discords in the world. I checked it before. It's like 650,000 people in that Discord.
Well, if they have $1 billion in revenue, I mean, just that alone, like, puts it at some of the fastest growth in this ecosystem I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
The likes of it took Ethereum so long to get off its haunches, to grow up really past just being a platform for ICOs and developing other projects. And the recursive nature of its utility is really growing. Like Axie Infinity, it's an ERC20 token, right?
Axies.
It is? Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just incredible to see like what's really impossible, like what's really possible once like the tools for developing such worlds become more readily available, and also to see like the world between gaming and NFT kind of become real. The thesis of Outlier Ventures being the new one being the metaverse is really pertinent here. how ownership of in-game items and kind of the bridging between the real and the virtual is going to become a really important point of contact in the coming years. And so this is only the beginning. The likes of like Team Fortress 2, which has more than it has millions of users. Like my brother was just playing Team Fortress 2 this past hour.
Yeah.
And they have an in-game economy in and of itself, and that's just based on random loot drops. And so what more sort of what if Fortnite goes to build an in-game economy on NFTs? What if Minecraft does this? The whole of the Steam library. What if the tools for creating this sort of monetized world are available to every single game that's made in Steam? That sort of world we're rapidly approaching. And it just takes the amount of the vision of developers and the right sort of systems design to really start taking off. So yeah, there's going to be so much more than just this, but it's a really cool story, Luke.
Yeah, I agree. That whole metaverse play, I think getting the right balance of a game people like to enjoy, aspects of the game, as you said, the self-fulfilling economy in there as well, where people can earn and trade and buy things. And then tying that all in with the whole crypto ecosystem, it's kind of the perfect trifecta. And just to give themselves credit, these guys, Axie Infinity actually started in 2017 here, I'm just reading. So, making an NFT and an economy and a crypto game is definitely not easy. Hats off to these guys, truly incredible. But yeah, as you see, we're probably going to see more of these plays, further down the line. Particularly, I think that in the coming decades, more people are going to be living at home, working from home, earning income from home. I think these play to earn games could be, an entirely different angle, especially in third world or poorer countries, lower socioeconomic areas, like we're seeing in the Philippines and Vietnam and stuff like that. They're really starting to spark up. I actually think that's all I had for today. Any other topics you want to talk about, Ghost, before we wrap up the wrap up?
Yeah. I don't really have any more to say other than it's always great to talk with you, Luke, and always great to have you listeners here on the cast or the roundtable, I guess. So
awesome. All right. Yeah. As Ghost said, thank you, because without you, there is no us.
This is true.
That's crazy. True. But take it easy. We'll also, quick little plug. If you guys have not seen our first guest interview yet, jump on it. James Taylor from Unizen, Chief Business Officer. Had a great chat with him. Great guy. Top bloke. Check it out. We're going to have some more interviews with more top projects that we are interested in and that we want to learn more about, or, just get some content out there. Keep an eye on it, because we're going to be really focusing on it over the next few months. All right. That's it from me.
A small stream will quickly become a raging river. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
Take it easy, y'all.
All right. Take it easy, fellas. Bye.